Hello, my name is John Terrell. I will be presenting today on the historical perspective of literacy. I first want to start off with the definition of literacy, which is the ability to read and write. And of course, we see this in a variety of different contexts, in our families, in our homes, at school, as well as at work. I want to also share with you a timeline of literacy. So in the 3500 BC, there was a very small amount of people who were able to read and write. And the people who displayed that skill were either going to be politicians or they were also going to be performers. Then we transitioned into 23 BC, which was thousands of years later, where the first books came to see. And these books were seen in the Middle East and Rome, and at this time, books were very rare or expensive. But then in the 15th century, the invention of the print press came into play. And so, of course, with more books, the literacy rates increased. And then in the 1920s, literacy rates increased to approximately 70% in the United States. This was because press was free, and so you could read in newspapers, you could read in periodicals, and this was primarily because we wanted to make sure that American citizens were able to have the rights to vote. And in the 1940s, it switched from focusing on the rights to vote to focus on literature. And so at the 1940s, approximately 40% of Americans were able to read literature. In the 1980s, approximately 95 million Americans were able to read literature. Now I want to share with you the components of literacy. We have phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, and writing. And so phonemic awareness is the ability to hear and manipulate sound. Phonics is the ability to decode sound. Fluency is the ability to read and automatically understand what it is that automatically read what it is that you see. Vocabulary is the being able to hear a word, understand a word, and put it into context. Comprehension is the ability to be able to read fluently and comprehend while you're reading. And of course, reading and writing are directly connected because if you can read, you can write, you can also spell. Now I want to share with you the role of the reading specialist. So there's three primary roles. It's instruction, assessment, and leadership. Instruction is about making sure that you are instructing readers with the best practices. Assessment is about identifying the reader's level, making sure that you are using proper tools to be able to do that. And then leadership is about collaborating with teachers as well as district leadership, as well as the learning community to ensure that you're using best practices. Now the roles of a reading specialist have changed tremendously. Historically, a reading specialist was taught disabled readers. Then, in the past, reading specialists were asked to do a lot of different things, which was assess, instruct, and evaluate, and collaborate. The role of this specialist has shifted from direct instruction to leadership responsibilities, and now the reading specialist is working more towards collaborating with teachers and parents. And so, as a reading specialist, I think it's very important to make sure that you use these tips to be successful in learning. So, of course, you want to assess students and monitor progress. Sometimes students don't like to read, and so of course, in order to be able to get buy-in from students, you want to be able to develop relationships. You want to create routines that focus on reading, writing, and vocabulary, and you want to be able to do that by reinforcing classroom lessons. You want to use your time as wisely as possible, so you want to reinforce lessons from social studies, science, and other content areas. You want to be able to keep students engaged, and you also want to make sure that learning is fun. And so my vision as for a district or for my particular district is to engage learners in a highly impactful learning instruction or literacy instruction, and making sure that while we are doing that, we're collaborating with other educators to create, assess, and align instruction to make sure that learning is impactful for our learners.